and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you what happened when I gave myself the challenge of writing between 10 and 30 minutes a day on my novel every day for a week. But before I talk to you about the results of what happened and how I went about doing it, I first want to give you a little bit of background about me. I've been trying to complete my novel for about a decade, but fear, procrastination, imposter syndrome, basically a whole raft of things, all boiling down to a lack of confidence, has stopped me from finishing it. If you're someone else who is struggling with a whole host of different things that is stopping you from getting those words written, then you are probably very similar to me. So I hope this will help you or inspire you in some way. So last year, to trick myself, I started to film my progress as I undertook a structural edit of my novel. If you look on my YouTube channel, you will see there is a playlist called Writing My Novel. And in that playlist, it has essentially followed my journey from, I think, summer last year. The reason why I decided to film my progress was to give me some accountability, to essentially make it public. And you'd think that for someone with limited confidence about their fiction writing, that this would be a completely crazy idea, but in actual fact it worked. And I'm now at the stage where I can begin the rewrite. But I'm also at the stage where I need to trick myself again. I think that's just going to be what it takes to get me to finish this novel, is a series of tricks on my mind. So I'll link the playlist in the description box below, and I'll also put it in the top corner, this corner just here. So how have I tricked myself this year? I have told myself that I only have to write up to 30 minutes a day. It could be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or it could be 30 minutes. A minimum of 10 minutes a day is all I need to do. So I've taken the pressure off by only having to write 10 minutes a day, but I've also made it my third priority out of all of the projects that I've set myself for Q1 of 2020. And if you'd like to see that video about where I set my goals and my projects and some of my tasks, I will link that for you in the description box below as well. But yes, my first priority is my non-fiction, and my second priority is my YouTube channel, and the third priority, the novel, is just something I have to write for 10 minutes or 30 minutes a day. I've got my writing tracker and log bullet journal that I have also done a video on, believe it or not, and again I will link that in the description box below. One of the spreads in here was to basically to scribble in a square. As you can see, this is January, and this is my fiction column, and if I've worked on my fiction on that day, all I have to do is scribble in a square. Obviously you can see I've not done anything else but I have worked on my fiction for 10 to 30 minutes a day for the past week. And by doing that spread, I didn't want to see any gaps in the grid. Back in the day when blogs were the main form of communicating online, I had a blog called 100 words a day or something like that. It was for myself and a group of writers just to write 100 words a day at a minimum, and then we would come onto the blog and say that we've done it. But 100 words in a day doesn't seem that daunting. Obviously, if you got into the groove and you wanted to write more, then you could. but at a minimum, just 100 words was absolutely fine. If you have that inner voice shouting at you that you're really rubbish, if you're busy, run down, if time was limited or your energy was lacking, then just doing 100 words was doable. And it's the same with just giving yourself a block of time. And I think for me in particular, I was talking a bit about this last year. I can't remember if it was on Instagram or YouTube, but I just feel that the days go really fast and you get to the end of the day and you think, well, what is it that I've achieved today? And I know there's a big trend at the moment on YouTube for sort of time blocking. And I can't get into that personally, but kind of taking the idea behind that and just blocking out 10 to 30 minutes of a day. I don't block anything else out, but just that 10 to 30 minutes, it seems doable. Out of a 24-hour day, you can find 10 minutes. Cheers. Now, initially, I saw this as something I could do first thing every day. So as soon as my children leave for school at 7:30, I thought I could just write for half an hour, and by the time I'd finished, it would be 8 o'clock and I could get on with the rest of the day. I did do this during the weekday, but at the weekend it didn't work like that. I got to the end of Saturday and I realised I hadn't done any writing that day, and I literally got my journal and I knew what scene I was on next because I've got my index cards, which are here. So because of my index cards, I knew which scene was next and I knew what I had to tackle. So I started to sketch that out in my journal. So I didn't need my laptop. I've written Saturday the 11th of January at 9:55 p.m. and that's what time I started writing it. And I did 15 to 20 minutes on this. You can see where it says Charlotte and Alex visit. And then I started writing down what I thought the story might be there. And then the same thing happened on Sunday. Again, I got to bedtime and I had still not written anything that day. And so I only did a page and a bit. But do you know what? Those words add up. And if you look in my tracker, this is what you can see. Okay, we've now come to the top down, so we can have a look at my writing tracker and log, just to see how well I've done in the past 7 days from writing between 10 and 30 minutes a day. So, this here is the little squares that I fill in every day that I've already shown you earlier in the video. But this is what I do. I write down my daily word count. So let me zoom you in. So as you can see, on the first day I did 1,211 words, 1,596 on the second day, 1,851 on the third, then 866 on the fourth. And I've put edited there because some of that is basically taking things from an old draft, going through it, polishing it up a little bit, as well as adding in additional sentences. You can see which one is the weekend. So that was the 11th and the 12th, where I only wrote 268 words on Saturday and 257 on Sunday. And both of those I did between 10 and 20 minutes just before I got into bed, just scribbling in my journal. And then I've got here, which is Monday, I did 506 brand new words, which brings me to a total of 6,555 new words in my new draft, which I am absolutely thrilled with, which takes me to, let me zoom out a little bit. If I go to my burnt chocolate tracker, I've done 2 extra chapters here, and I have done, in total on this draft, with that extra 6,555 words, I'm now just over 19,000 words in total of my second draft, which I think is not bad going at all. I know I've had a lot of comments on Instagram about this. A lot of people have been cheering me on. If that's you, thank you very much. And a few people have also said that they might use this process. And I do think when you take that pressure off, when you say to yourself, you only have to do 10 minutes, you only have to do 20 minutes, half an hour, or 100 words, take that pressure off and it doesn't become a burden anymore. It actually becomes enjoyable. And I know for some of you, this might not even be an issue. For some of you, you can't stop writing your novel. And if that's the case, then that's absolutely fine. But for those of you with confidence issues, with procrastination, imposter syndrome, all of those lovely issues that stop you from writing your novel, if any of those apply, then like I say, taking that pressure off, making that time really small, and you will see, as I've just shown you, that those words will mount up. And it's great. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you again soon for another video. Bye for now. Bye.